For 2,000 years, the Galactic Strategic Command Academy had been the cradle of the universe's most brilliant military leaders. Its graduates kept the peace across 47 star systems. The final test, the legendary final gauntlet, was an impossible simulation that no cadet had ever beaten on their first try. Most took 3 years just to survive it. So, when Earth sent to humans as observers, the Commandant, General Truxine, saw it as a mere diplomatic formality. He reviewed their files. Captain Alex Reeves, a combat pilot, and Dr. Maya Patel, a field medic, a species that had just figured out faster than light travel. He told his staff, "Let them watch, but don't expect them to contribute. Humans have only ever fought themselves. They've never faced a true strategic challenge." On the first day, Alex and Maya sat in the back as Commander Zixler, the Academy's top cadet, presented his solution to a complex war scenario. It was a masterpiece of fleet positioning and multi-dimensional tactics. The cadets applauded. Then, Alex raised his hand. The room fell silent. "Permission to speak, sir. That solution won't work." The temperature seemed to drop. Zixler's scales flushed purple with insult. "I've spent 6 months on this strategy. It covers every variable. Except casualties," Maya added softly. "Your medical evacuation routes are a nightmare. When ships start taking damage, your wounded are looking at 6-hour trips to get help." Alex pulled up his datapad, and from a pilot's perspective, your formation looks great on paper, but it requires constant micro-adjustments. Your flight crews will be exhausted in 36 hours. Trust me, tired pilots make fatal mistakes. Zixler was outraged. "This is theoretical warfare at the highest level. We aren't concerned with such mundane details." "War is nothing but mundane details," Alex countered. For the next 15 minutes, Alex and Maya dismantled the perfect strategy. They didn't talk about quantum tactics. They talked about pilot fatigue, medical bottlenecks, and crew rotation schedules. They explained how the brilliant plan would collapse under the weight of simple human limitations. The Academy had forgotten something crucial. Wars aren't just about maneuvers. They're about keeping your people in the fight. The silence that followed was deafening. On day 2, General Thraxin did something unprecedented. He invited the 2 humans to lead the defense in a live war game against Zixler and his elite squad. The scenario: defend a colony against a superior invasion force. The goal: survive for 72 hours. Zixler's team was confident. "Let's not embarrass them too badly," he murmured. The game began. Zixler's fleet entered the system with overwhelming firepower, a textbook perfect invasion. He expected crude, aggressive tactics from the humans. Instead, Alex and Maya did something bizarre. They retreated. Immediately. They pulled their entire fleet back to the colony world, abandoning the strategic high ground. Zixler's team was confused, but pressed forward, easily taking the outer system. "They've already lost," one of his officers declared. But Alex and Maya weren't fighting for the system. They were fighting for the planet. Their ships formed a tight orbital shell, using the planet's gravity and atmosphere as a shield. Zixler's long-range weapons were now useless. He had to get in close. Athar 12 Zixler began his assault. That's when Maya unleashed their real weapon. She broadcast open emergency signals on all frequencies, simulated casualty reports, triage codes, medical distress calls from civilians. It was a flood of fake humanitarian crisis data. Galactic law required Zixler's forces to acknowledge and respond to every single signal. His invasion ground to a halt, drowning in medical bureaucracy. In Techalis, Alex's fighter squadron struck. They didn't aim for kills. They aimed to wound. Hit-and-run attacks, targeting command vessels. Every attack created more casualties, triggering more medical protocols, more mandatory procedures, more gridlock. By hour 36, Zixler's fleet was strategically prepared. His commanders spent more time filling out paperwork than fighting. His pilots were exhausted from constant false alarms. At hour 72, the simulation ended. Zixler's force was still combat capable, but they were strategically defeated. They couldn't coordinate, couldn't ignore the humanitarian protocols, and couldn't sustain their operations. Alex and Maya's defenders still held the planet. General Thraxin stood, his 6 eyes fixed on the humans. "Explain your strategy, Maya Srochid." "We weaponized their own rules. Every military has protocols for medical emergencies. We just gave them too many to handle. And I kept their pilots reactive, Alex added. Tired, frustrated pilots make mistakes. We rotated our crews every 6 hours. They didn't. Thraxin turned to his staff. Effective immediately. All curriculum will be revised. These humans will teach a mandatory course. Human factors in multi-domain warfare. Later, a humbled Zixler asked them, "How did your species learn this?" Maya looked at Alex. "We've been fighting each other for 10,000 years. Wars aren't won by the side with the best weapons. They're won by the side they can keep fighting when everything hurts and nothing makes sense." The humans had remembered what the galaxy's greatest military minds forgot. War is won by the people who show up, ready to fight, because someone kept them alive, rested, and functional. And sometimes, the most devastating weapon is understanding that your enemy is still, at their core, human. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more.